You know that thing where you're in a relationship or you're at a job or whatever, and you come into the exact same situation, and you're like, I've been here so many times before. Why do I have this same problem coming right at me, the same challenge? Well, my darlings, we have our second new moon in Virgo. So it feels a little bit like, we were just here, man. But it's, of course, in a different context. It's in a different set of cycles. You know, all of our cycles happen within each other and with each other. And we're closing the cycle of eclipses for the fall until spring of 2026. Now, as every new moon signifies this beginning of something, this growth that can happen for a seed. When we have the eclipses, this last eclipse really kind of sets the tone for the 6 months in between now and when the next eclipse season starts. So we're setting the tone not only for the month with this new moon, but then for the next 6 months. There's this undertone, this feeling of. So what is different about this new moon than the new moon that happened a month ago? And again, what is different about you now in this situation than the situation you were in a month ago? Or what's different when you come to the same problem that you were so familiar with? What is different now that wasn't true before? And the hope is that we have been able to take steps within ourselves to become more pure. If we look at these themes around Virgo, not only is the Hermit an archetype that's very closely related to the Virgo, the name of this zodiac sign, it translates to the Virgin. And I've talked before about how in symbology, in more ancient language, the Virgin isn't so much about just the pure maiden, the untarnished hymen. The Virgin is much more about this alignment. So imagine with me, what does that mean? This alignment between how our insides are working and then what our actions are, what our words are, is one level of purity. Now think about how our alignment is not only between, our inner life and our outer life, but what about our spirit life and our earthly life? So this also is really connected to the archetype of Virgin. And that when we are so clear and so committed for our service in the world, our wanting and wished to serve the divine, our hope to be pure, not as like a puritanical kind of attitude, but really like, how can I let Christ's light shine through me? How can I let love and goodness dictate every word I say, every thought I have, every action I take? Now that's this ultimate idea of a Virgin, of this complete pure communication. How like a still lake can really reflect the accuracy of the heavens above. So the hard work about finding this purity as an adult, as a mature person, is we have these shadows and traumas that are results of pains we suffered and unfairnesses we feel we've met, or hardships we've met, that basically we took personally and we're holding on to. They give us meaning in different ways, and they also kind of, they block our view and our honesty in a certain level. So in order to regain this purity that we might have naturally had as a child, through our inner work, through our listening and patience and hearing the spiritual world, we have to have the courage and somehow the love to actually look at our own shadows, to look at the things that we, in the places we don't want to look, to admit the things we don't want to admit to ourselves. And this is a tender moment or practice, because we don't want to find ugliness. We don't want to find loneliness. We don't want to find some ache that can't be helped. And so, you know, it's so strange, because you think of it as like, you have to have courage that's always like strong and like beating down and like slaying that outside monster. But really, this courage is this inner courage of like, how can I just love anyways? How can I not let that shadow or that misstep blur my commitment to walk in this path of the spiritual aspirant, of seeking to become and spread and be this Christ light, or to be love on earth. Just as in our own life and biographies, we find this moment where we come to that same problem, we come to that same issue, and lo and behold, we've done the inner work, and we choose differently, or we say something new, and the results are different. Just like that, here we are with the second new moon in Virgo, and it's opposite Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Aries. I feel like this new moon is preparing us for their exact conjunction that happens in February, this next season. And it's preparing us to be ready to really embrace what new maturing of our dreams are we here for? Are we ready for? What new visions can we hold with all seriousness to move into the future in a new way, in a new kind of relationship to the divine? So this fruitful work of having the ability to look at your shadow, to try to integrate it, to, in a way, hug your demons, and to keep your love alive, even through admitting hard things to yourself, or letting go of things that really don't serve you anymore, of really integrating this new growth. That is, I think, the real work that is preparing us for a lot of what's happening in the future, a lot of change, a lot of newness that probably isn't going to be so comfortable. So my darling, my dear, in this second new moon in Virgo, so much love.